This is a WRR exclusive.
What is up, everybody? This is Ray, and we are back again with another WRR exclusive. Is this going to become a regular thing? I don't know. I guess so, if I keep coming across good material like this. Anyway, a little bit of background on this one. This is video from someone's private security cam. And the way I came across it was I was on one of these message forums that I'm a member of. I'm a member of quite a few of them. But this was like a UFO, alien, paranormal type message board. Well, anyway, the person posted this video and said, "Can anyone tell me what this is?" So I was intrigued. I played it and I was blown away. So let's just get into it. Let's get to this first frame and we will fade the music out. Alright, here's just a still frame of what the security cam can see. It's obviously nighttime. It looks like a rural area. You see lots of trees, lots of foliage. It looks like the road is in a little bit of disrepair. But it's kind of hard to tell anything in great detail about it because of the resolution, for one thing. It's kind of a low-res video. And two, it looks like they have some type of night vision going on here. But you can kind of tell what's going on. So let's proceed. So I started with this frame next because it was the clearest frame that I could find that kind of gave me a date on here. And it appears that it says 2/16/2021 at sometime after 2300 Eastern Time. So that's February 16th, 2021 at about 2300. So it's in the dead of night, this Eastern Time. Now, I don't know where this place is. I don't know where in the world this video was taken. Now, I guess I should probably say that I don't recall who the person was that actually posted the video in the first place. So if this is your video, please let me know. Please reach out to me. My email address is watchman.rayburn@gmail.com. And just let me know this is yours. I really didn't want to post this without seeking permission first, and I'll certainly take it down if whoever this actually belongs to can prove to me that this is actually their video. It's part of it's my fault. I didn't do my due diligence. I should have took down their name and where I found it and all that. So please forgive me, but I didn't think I needed to deprive everyone of what we have here. Alright, so let's move along. You see right here the full speed video. We'll show that to you first. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. So here we go. You see that? That was, it was pretty fast. So let's slow it down to about half speed and see if we can see some more detail. So we got a little bit more detail then. There was some noise. I don't know what. There was a flash over in the right side of the frame. There was like a boom. It almost sounded, it's kind of hard to tell what it was because the audio's not that great either. It's a low fidelity type audio. But it sounded kind of like a gunshot. And maybe it was, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. But then you had that one object that zoomed from one side of the frame to the other. And then immediately after that, there was another object that came in right behind it going what appeared to be in the same direction. So I've slowed this down to 25% and let's see how that looks. So a little bit more detail. You can see that the camera reacts to the flash of light that's on the right side of the frame. It tries to compensate, so it kind of dims the frame a little bit and then it comes back in at the normal brightness that was at previously. And then you see the two projectiles, the one right after the other. So I slowed this down to 1% speed. And people might ask, look, why do we have to look at it so slow? Well, there's more details. If you really want to look at this thing and try to figure out what's going on with it, then you have to look at it several different ways. So with this particular speed at 1%, some people may say it's overkill. Well, guess what? That's what I do. I do that because I want to know as much as I can about whatever it is that I'm interested in. So let's go. Let's see what it is at 1%. See the flash. And there's the boom. You see it lights up first and then it moves. So it looks like it was almost stationary at first. And then it started zipping across the screen there. And there was something else going on back there. I don't know what that was. But here comes the projectile, the second one. Come on, come on. There it goes. Like it came from like a downward direction up. Alright, so I don't know what that other thing that was going on in the background, but we're going to do a frame by frame analysis now and see what else we can deduce from this. So let's go. Alright, you can see the flash right there. Something flashes. It's out of frame. I don't know what it is. And then we've got the first object to appear. You see, it's just one thing there. One, I guess you call it a beam or reflection or something. There's just one object that was introduced into the frame. So let's go to the next one. And now there's two. So whatever it is, it appears to be two things. They both light up. And they seem to be stationary. So it's almost like, kind of like what we do in our cars, right? We start the car, turn on the headlights, and then we move, right? I'm not trying to say that that's what they're doing. I'm just saying that maybe there is some preparation that has to be done before it can move. I don't know. Let's move on. And then it starts to move. You can see the streaking from the movement, the light reflection back to the camera. Another thing you have to consider, though, is that I don't know how responsive this security camera is. It says it's a Ring camera, ring.com. But I don't know just how responsive it is, how many frames per second the video capture is on this particular surveillance camera. So that could have a lot of bearing on how much streaking goes on and how much is the actual object that you're actually looking at. All right, let's continue. So it's really getting up to speed now. It's really doing a lot of streaking here. And it still appears that it's two objects. You got one in the top, one in the bottom. Of course, it's kind of hard to tell, but that's what it appears to be. All right, let's go. It's really stretched out now. And I don't know if maybe that's just because it's closer to the camera, or maybe it's a streaking. Like I said, it's kind of hard to tell. It all depends on what the frame rate of capture is on that particular camera. Let's go. Now we've got one of the clearest shots of the whole video. And you can clearly see there's something at the top right here, and there's something at the bottom. It looks like, just looking at the frame, it looks like the letter Y laying on its side, you know? But again, it could be just two different projectiles running parallel to each other. All right, let's move on. And now we have another semi-clear shot, one of the clearer shots of the frame. And it looks almost like the two projectiles are coming together, or it could be that they're twisting around each other, maybe. I mean, that distance right there from where the camera is to what we can see of the end of the road appears to be maybe 20, 30 yards. So it's not that great of a distance. And something moving that fast for two projectiles to be twisting around each other, I mean, you wouldn't see much of the twist within that distance. All right, so let's move on. And there we have the tail end of it. Keep going. And there is the secondary projectile coming in. It looks like it's just one. It's long, cylindrical shaped. Like the other object, it's kind of hard to tell how much might be the streaking, how much may be the actual object. But this one's a lot dimmer. That first object, it seemed to be a lot more reflective to the night vision infrared than this second one is. Let's go to the next one. Now it comes in just a little bit clearer. You see there's kind of a little wiggle down there at the very end of it, whatever this is. I don't know what that's all about. Appears to be cylindrical in shape as far as I can tell, and seems to be following the path of the first object. Let's move on. Now It seems like this is, well, it's probably not the closest shot, but it's definitely the clearest one that we have. And it seems to have a little bend in the middle here now. Some of that could be the video camera. It's just kind of hard to tell. But it still seems to be moving in that trajectory that the first object was moving in. Let's keep going. Here it is again, this next frame. Still going the same direction. Still appears to be cylindrical. It's kind of mashed up against the tree behind it, and given that the second object is sort of dim, it's kind of hard to tell if it's completely straight or not. Let's move on. The next frame shows that it is still long, cylindrical. Not really much more to tell out of this one. Let's move on. Alright, so I did some image enhancement to try to bring out some more detail so that maybe we can figure out a little bit more about what's actually going on here. So what that was, I adjusted the contrast way up so that we could try to get some more detail out of it. This shot here appears to be one of the clearest shots. And again, it's like what I was saying before. It looks like a Y laying on its side, or maybe a V laying on its side. But you can clearly see that there are two pieces to this front end of it. And man, this sucker's moving fast. So it kind of makes it a little bit tough to figure out, how much of it is actually the object and how much of it is streaking as a result of the frame rate of the camera. Alright, let's move on. Alright, now this is interesting. Because now it looks like it is just one piece, right? It's like one piece. It looks pointed on the front end, and it widens out to the back, and there appears to be two somethings, I don't know what these are, at the top of it. Now what that is, I have no idea. But still very interesting. Alright, so let's move on. This next one, I had to use an embossing filter. I had to use a different filtering process for it because the second object is so dim. I wanted to try to see more of the shape of it. The first one was very reflective, so the contrast and everything, that worked well with it. Let's see what we've got. You see right here, there's something going on right here. This is what I was talking about before. There's something going on right here, right before that second projectile takes off. So let's see. Let's go to the next frame. See how it changes. See this? It looks similar to the shape of the second object. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Anyway, these next few frames are just showing going from the first frame to the second frame of this particular area right here. So you can see, if you didn't see it before, you can see what the changes are. So how it goes. See how it changes? Looks like it's moving to the left. So here's our projectile, our second one. It looks like, it still shows that long cylindrical shape. It almost looks like two, though. It looks like maybe there's one in the front and one in the back. A longer one in the front, a shorter one in the back. Again, it's kind of hard to tell, but that's what it appears to be. Alright, so let's move on. So here we are in the very next frame, and it still maintains that same shape, and it looks like there are two. Looks like it could be two, I should say. Alright, so let's move on. So here's a zoomed in version of the V shape, Y shape on its side. I just think I don't know what this could be. I have no idea what this could be. It's certainly interesting, though. And it looks like it's connected. Just like the V would be. I don't know what that is. I seriously don't. I spent a lot of time out in the woods when I was a kid. I'm not normally filming. I don't imagine. I just don't see this happening right here. The very next frame, looks like everything's coming together. Anyway, let's go to that next frame. And here we are. Very interesting frame. It looks like everything has come together. There's a point on the front end on the left hand side, and it widens out going to the right at the back end of the projectile. And you've got these two humps right here on top of it. I don't know what that is. There's not enough detail there for me to make out what kind of shape that might be. That is certainly odd. It certainly looks aerodynamic. If I didn't know any better, if all I saw was this shape, I would think maybe it's a boat. But I know it's not a boat. It's flying through the air. Boats don't do that. Alright, so let's go on to the next frame. Alright, this is our second projectile. And you can clearly see right here where it looks like there's a separation. So maybe there are two instead of one. I don't know. Alright, so let's go to the next shot. And there it is, about to pass between the camera and this tree in the background. And you can see where it looks like maybe there is a separation there. Maybe it's two objects instead of one. Let's move on. And here they are all together. You've got the V shape up here in the top left. You've got the boat shape, I guess, in the top right. In the bottom left, you've got the second projectile. And in the bottom right, you've got the second shot of the projectile. I picked these because they looked like they were the best images I could get from it. Let's move on. So what do you think this is? I mean, what does it look like to you? I mean, I don't want to apply unrealistic or sensationalist type descriptions here. But doesn't that look kind of like what they call it, the sand speeder from Star Wars, or the pod or whatever? I mean, doesn't it look kind of like that? I mean, I'm not trying to lead anybody in one direction or another, but I mean, sort of. It kind of looks like one of those ships of the Empire, the Imperial. I can't think of it. Anyway, I have no idea what this is. But take a good look. What do you think that is? Let me know. Put some comments below. Just let me know what you think. I am certainly interested. And again, whoever it was that posted this video, whoever took this from a security camera, please let me know. I really want to talk to you. If nothing else, just to ask you some questions about it. If I get in touch with this person and they give me permission to keep it up, I'll keep it up, and maybe they'll let me interview them. If they will, there will be a follow-up. I'll let you guys know. Anyway, alright, that's it, guys. We're outie. If the person that owns this video will reach out to me, send me an email. My email address again is watchmn.rayburn@gmail.com. I'm outie.
This has been a WRR exclusive presentation.
You're watching the article